At night, when Cinco and Nakano were having dinner together, Nakano suddenly felt pain in his back because earlier in the office he was working and had to carry a heavy object that may have caused some back problems. Cinco understands and offers to massage his back using her legs so that he can relax, and the pain could be reduced. Although at first he initially felt awkward, Nakano finally agreed. Cinco massages his back using her feet and makes sure that he's at ease. As she walks up and down his back, Nakano feels relaxed and dozes off. The next day, when Nakano was about to go home from work after another tiring day, out of the blue, one of his coworkers asked him to rearrange their project data as it was due in the morning. He humbly requests him to do this for him. Nakano, who's good guy, doesn't say no and starts working again. This made him work till late at night, and as a result, he accidentally misses the last train and is forced to return to the office to spend the night there. But on the way to the office, he meets Shiro, who was just randomly there waiting for him. Seeing that Nakano was tired, she said that she would help him get home. So Shiro opened the sky world that can be used to travel to various places, and she connects to a portal near his apartment. On the way home, she tells Nakano that Cinco wants to take care of him because Cinco used to take care of Shiro's ancestors, and maybe she feels it is her solemn duty to look after their relatives. Nanako admits that he doesn't really care about Cinco's reasons for taking care of him because Cinco's presence has changed his life. He further explains how joyous his life has become. When Nakano arrived at the apartment, Cinco immediately realized that he had previously met another holy fox as he gave off a scent, but she didn't mind and immediately invited him to have dinner together. During summer vacation, Nakano is excited. As he can finally rest, he only gets a few days off at that time, so he would only spend time at home. He and Cinco both enjoyed a bit of time at home, but that peace didn't last long as when Shiro came and took them to the beach using the sky portal. Shiro deliberately invited Konji to come on vacation with them so that their vacation would be more lively and fun. That day, Konji and Shiro enjoyed their vacation by swimming at the beach in their floaties, while Nakano and Cinco preferred to sunbathe while enjoying some watermelon. They both stayed under the shade and enjoyed the view. After that, all four of them played volleyball in pairs with Cinco and Nakano with Shiro and Konji. Enjoying their quick beach vacation, they came back happily. All of them become closer, especially Nakano and Cinco's relationship. In the afternoon, Nakano and the others enjoyed a delicious barbecue meal, and they played fireworks together near the beach among the rocks. In the evening, unknown to them, Sora is quietly watching all of them from afar as if she was plotting something. She is tempted towards Makana. One day, when Nakano is about to go to work, he is tempted by a food advertisement on television, which makes his mouth water up. He leaves thinking about the tasty dish, and Cinco, who had noticed, intends to cook the meal for him. She went to Konji's apartment and asked for help cooking the food advertised on television. After hours of preparing the ingredients and bringing them to a boil, Cinco had cut all the vegetables and made sure all the ingredients were set to make the perfect dish. The dish was finally done, and she rested easy. Shiro, who often happened to stop by Konji's room, also tasted the food with Konji and Cinco. It was delicious, and now Cinco wanted Nakano to come and taste it. After cleaning all of the mess at Konji's place, Cinco brought some food to the apartment so that Nakano could enjoy it. In addition, she also added a little homemade food to the dish so that he could still taste her specialty. Nakano enjoys the food and loves that Cinco took out the time to make him such a great dish for him. Later, as time passes, when the weather is very hot, Cinco takes the initiative to cut Nakano's hair so that his appearance looks neater and so that he doesn't sweat easily. After getting the desired hairstyle, she also cleans his hair carefully to make him feel very happy. When winter comes in, and it starts to snow heavily, that Cinco advises Nakano not to go to work, however, because he still hasn't received a vacation notice from the head of the office, so he can't just skip work. He still forces himself to go to work and is sad that even today is going to be tiring. Fortunately, before Nakano arrived at the station, he got a message from the office that his work for that day was closed due to heavy snow. Before returning to the apartment, Cinco invites him for a snowball fight together, and in the end, they throw snowballs at each other like little kids. Even this slowly makes Nanako feel better and better as he can call someone his friend, who is always around. After that, she pampers Nakano by allowing him to warm his hands with her tail, as Nakano's hands were cold because of the snow. Although in the end, it makes her have a fever, and she had to rest for a while. Luckily, she recovered quickly after warming herself up under the heating tables. Nakano joins and warms his hand with her tail as Cinco recovers from her fever. Shortly after that, Sora came to Nakano's apartment to seduce him with her very curves. But oddly enough, he was only tempted to hold her tails, which were different than Cinco's. But when he was about to hold Sora's tail, Cinco immediately stopped him and warned him to stay away from her because she was a very dangerous fox goddess. Before Sora left Nakano's apartment, she was devious in her ways and she whispered that he had to be careful because bad things would happen. After Sora left, he accused Senko of being jealous of her, but Senko immediately denied it and said that Sora was a very dangerous person. The next day, when Senko opened her bag, she saw the flower chain Nakano had given as an offering when he was a kid. It turns out she is indeed the one who once helped him when he was lost in the middle of the forest. She was glad that she could help him then and even now. At that time, he would pray to the fox goddess to help him, and Senko heard him and helped him when he was young. In the evening, when Nakano comes home from work, Senko surprises him with a sudden change in the rune's atmosphere. She had prepared a lot of sake for them to drink together while discussing their plans for the spring. She invited Nakano to see the cherry blossoms blooming in spring, and he immediately agreed to the invitation because he had not seen this beautiful sight for a long time. Nakano drinks several bottles of sake until he gets drunk and starts complaining about his heavy work because his boss keeps getting mad at him and how even after giving so many hours and sleepless nights at his job, his boss still scolds him. He finally starts to get sleepy and fell fast asleep on Senko's soft tail. She laughs at how Nakano went from complaining to falling asleep. Senko also worries at the same time as she can still see the black aura on his body and wonders why the black aura hasn't disappeared. Senko can't understand why it is still there. At the same time, Sora and Shiro are seen watching Senko and Sakano interactions through the magic portal. Shiro begins to miss Senko's cooking because she has been down to accompany Nakano for about a year, and until now she has not yet returned to the sky. Shiro misses her cooking more than Senko herself. The next day, Nakano came home from work and was all worried and sad at the same time as he had not received word about the leave he had applied for. Nakano had applied for small leaves so that he could go and watch the cherry blossom trees bloom with Senko and the others, but he had not received any confirmation. When he arrived at the apartment, Senko asked him to buy fried tofu at the supermarket before tomorrow morning for their picnic, and Nanako agreed that a lot of shopping had to be done. Unfortunately, the plan failed because the next morning Nakano received news from his mother that his father was getting sick. As a result, he had to cancel his plans with Sinlo and had to visit his old hometown for a while to take care of his parents. Nanako packs all of his things and is ready to leave. Before he left, he gave his spare cell phone to Senko so he could contact her later when he returns. Nakano left while Senko started packing her things as well and prepared to go somewhere without the cell phone that Nakano had given her. Before Senko left, Koenji had come to her room to give some food to her, and Koenji asked where she was going, and Senko said she would only be gone for a while. On the other hand, Nakano is visiting his grandmother's grave to pay his last respects. Before he returns to Tokyo at that moment, he suddenly remembered the incident in the past when he was lost in the forest and all the things he saw in his dream were in fact a reality. After realizing that the person who once helped him was actually Senko, he immediately rushed to contact her. However, because Senko had left the spare cell phone at home, Nakano wasn't able to contact her. Not long after, Nakano's office friend contacted him to return to Tokyo immediately and help complete an office project as his boss was angry about his sudden absence. Hearing this, he was forced to return to Tokyo earlier than he had planned. While on the way to the apartment, Nakano thinks about how he can't wait to meet Senko and surprise her with his early arrival. But when he arrived at the apartment, he couldn't find anyone, and the spare cell phone that he had left for Senko was also lying on the table. He tries asking Koenji about her whereabouts, but Koenji also doesn't know where she went on. She explains that Senko had said that she will be back and had taken her stuff with her as well. On the other hand, we see Senko in the sky preparing food for Shiro, who already wanted to enjoy Senko's food. Nakano is worried and looks for her. Before Senko returned to Earth, she asks Sora about Nakano's dark aura and why it had still not disappeared. Sora replied that these were the signs that Senko would never be able to remove the black aura from him, so she had to leave him and not return as it was useless of her to continue to pamper him even after no results. At the same time, Nakano is out looking for Senko because he worries that something bad might happen to her. Feeling frantic and sad, he went to several places while it was raining. He even went to a temple and shouted her name repeatedly in the hope that she would return to him. Nakano remembered Sora's last message saying that soon something bad would happen to the two of them, and he thought that separation was what Sora meant, but not long after, Senko came to him along with the cherry blossoms. The trees started blooming, and at first he thought he would never see her again, but he felt relieved after she appeared. Senko then took Nakano to a nearby park to watch the cherry blossoms bloom while drinking sake. While having a drink together, he says he remembered the incident in his childhood and how Senko was the one who had came to help him to find his grandmother. She didn't respond but promised that she would always pamper Nakano until the last moment. Not long after, Shiro and Koenji come to join them. Koenji brought a laptop so they can watch their favorite anime together. They all enjoy, eat food, and drink sake while watching the cherry trees bloom. They all are happy, especially Nakano, who tells that he never wants to be separated from Senko ever again. Senko agrees, and the show comes to a close. And that's the end of the video. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.